What if I told you that procrastination isn't always the issue? The problem might actually be how you perceive breaks. Think about it. How many times have you blamed yourself for not starting something right away? How often have you felt the crushing pressure of the clock, each ticking second reminding you of what's yet to be done? A desk piled with tasks, deadlines that seem to suffocate you, and still nothing gets done. It's frustrating, isn't it? But what if that pause wasn't a mistake? What if it was, in fact, a message? Picture your mind as a GPS without a set destination. It's not guiding you because it's lazy, but because you haven't programmed the endpoint. Let's explore how Stoicism can redefine this journey. Now, to be clear, this isn't an invitation to embrace procrastination as a good thing. It's an invitation to see breaks through a new lens, as tools that, when used correctly, can become your greatest allies. Today, I want to show you something different. Let's debunk the myth that you need to always be running, always busy, to be productive. We'll explore how Stoicism can change the way you view breaks, not as enemies, but as a way to recharge your mind and align your actions with what truly matters. Are you ready for this? Does it feel like you're always busy but never really moving forward? Do you wake up early, already burdened by a mental list of tasks, only to end the day feeling like all you did was put out fires? Or maybe it's the opposite. You take breaks, but those breaks come with a heavy dose of guilt, as if they're an added weight on your shoulders. It's like being trapped in an endless cycle where exhaustion and frustration alternate. In our pursuit of productivity, we forget something fundamental. Breaks are not the enemy. They are the secret to maintaining clarity. It's time to abandon the machine mentality and seek intentional balance. The wear and tear build up, and even when you try to slow down, guilt creeps in. Does this sound familiar? This is the modern dilemma. Continuous, aimless work leads to burnout. You push your body and mind to the limit, believing that stopping is a failure. But ironically, this exhaustion fuels procrastination. And here comes the guilt. You stop because you're drained, but you can't allow yourself to rest. After all, society has taught you that pausing is wasting time. So, even when you stop, you don't truly rest. The result? A constant state of frustration and a sense of unproductiveness that feels impossible to overcome. You find yourself watching the clock, wondering where the time went, while life seems to slip through your fingers. And the most curious thing is that this feeling doesn't come solely from procrastination itself. It stems from the weight you attribute to it, from the belief that if you're not producing all the time, you're failing. But does this guilt make sense? Is the real problem the break itself, or the way you view those breaks? Maybe it's time to reassess this cycle, because the solution isn't in working nonstop or condemning yourself for taking breaks. It's in understanding how to use those breaks intentionally. Perhaps what you need isn't to try harder, but to align yourself with your true priorities. That's the key to breaking this cycle. Have you ever considered that procrastination might be more than just a bad habit? To the Stoics, it wasn't seen as a personal flaw or a sign of weakness. In fact, procrastination could be a reflection of misaligned priorities. It's an indicator that something in your approach needs attention. When you procrastinate, perhaps your mind is telling you there's a lack of clarity about what truly matters. And this isn't about laziness, it's about perspective. The Stoics believe that true productivity starts with balance. It's not about doing the most in the least amount of time, but about acting with intention and purpose. This balance lies at the heart of a fundamental Stoic concept called apatheia, or emotional equilibrium. It's not the absence of emotions, as some might think, but a state of clarity where emotions don't control you. The same applies to procrastination. When you're overwhelmed by guilt or exhaustion, you get stuck in an unproductive cycle. But by consciously pausing, by taking an intentional break, you create the space to regain that balance and take back control. Think of your mind as a sword that's used incessantly, without care, loses its edge, becomes dull, and eventually useless. For it to remain sharp and effective, it needs rest and maintenance. The same is true for your mind. Strategically taking breaks isn't a luxury but a necessity for anyone who wants to act with clarity and purpose. Without those breaks, your productivity risks becoming aimless effort, a hollow motion that only drains your energy. The Stoics also teach us to differentiate between what is within our control and what is not. This distinction is crucial to overcoming procrastination. Ask yourself, is this task within my control right now? Can I act on it at this moment, or do I need to first organize my thoughts, my environment, or my priorities to move forward? This simple yet powerful practice helps you understand that immediate action isn't always the most productive. Sometimes, stepping back, breathing, and reorienting yourself is what leads to the best results. There's more. Intentional breaks offer more than rest. They're opportunities for reflection. When you take a conscious pause, you can analyze your actions, revisit your priorities, and make decisions that align better with your goals. This is something the Stoics practiced constantly. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, wrote daily reflections in his journal, not to criticize himself, but to understand where he was making progress and where he could improve. For him, breaks were a tool for growth. Now, compare this to the breaks you currently take. Are they conscious or impulsive? Do they recharge you or just distract you? Imagine how different your routine would be if you transformed each break into an opportunity for alignment. No more blaming yourself for stopping, but instead using that time to better prepare for action. This mindset shift can turn productivity from something exhausting and frustrating into something intentional and rewarding. Through this lens, procrastination ceases to be the villain. It becomes a signal, a chance to identify what's misaligned in your life and correct your course. So the next time you feel like putting something off, ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? Am I avoiding something that isn't a priority? Or do I need a moment to organize my mind before moving forward? Adopting this Stoic perspective not only removes the guilt from procrastination, but teaches you to use it to your advantage. Because when you stop fighting against breaks and start integrating them strategically, you discover that you can achieve more with less effort. Your mind, like a well-maintained sword, will be ready to cut through any obstacle with precision and strength. This is how the Stoics approached productivity, as a balance between action and reflection, where every intentional pause is part of a greater progress. Enough of blaming breaks or fighting against them. Let me show you how to turn these moments into powerful allies with 3 Stoic steps. To do this, we'll break the process down into 3 clear and easy-to-implement steps. These steps not only help you overcome the mental block caused by procrastination, but also make your actions more aligned, intentional, and effective. The first step is to reflect on your priorities. Here, Stoic philosophy offers us a crucial question. Is this within my control right now? This simple reflection has the power to eliminate confusion and bring immediate clarity. Often, we get paralyzed because we waste energy on things we cannot change. It could be criticism we've received, a mistake we've made, or even worries about the future. The Stoics teach us that the only thing we have complete control over is our mind and our actions in the present moment. Regularly asking yourself what's really within your control helps you identify what's important right now and where to focus your energy. This practice can completely transform how you approach your responsibilities. The second step is to plan strategic breaks. Breaks, when taken without intention, can easily turn into moments of distraction or a source of guilt. But what if you plan them with a clear purpose? Think of breaks as intervals aligned with your goals. For example, instead of simply checking out and wasting time scrolling through social media, set breaks that recharge your energy and bring clarity. A short walk, breathing exercises, or even 5 minutes of meditation can make a huge difference in your productivity. These not only reduce accumulated fatigue, but also help you return to work with greater focus and intention. Remember, breaks aren't an interruption to productivity, but an essential part of it. Finally, the third step is to act with intention. Often, we delay tasks because they feel too large, or because we don't know where to start. This is where the Stoic idea of taking one step at a time comes into play. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't have to do everything at once, but always take a step toward what matters." This means that even if your task seems overwhelming, any action, no matter how small, is better than staying stuck. Moreover, this small action, when done with clarity and intention, creates a domino effect. It eliminates the feeling of stagnation and propels you forward, giving you the energy for the next step. Let's put this into practice. Imagine you need to start an important project but feel like you're procrastinating. First, ask yourself, what is really within my control right now? Perhaps the answer is, choose the first task of the project and dedicate 30 minutes to it. Next, plan a strategic break. After 30 minutes of focused work, I'll stretch for 5 minutes. Finally, act with intention. Begin with a small part of the project, something you know you can complete in that time. By the end, you'll have made progress, even if incrementally, and be better prepared to continue. These 3 steps work because they break the cycle of guilt and paralysis that often accompanies procrastination. They put you back in control of the situation and help you transform breaks into moments of recharge and actions into something intentional and aligned with your goals. To make this even more powerful, you can create small rituals that integrate these steps into your routine. For instance, at the start of your day, spend 5 minutes writing down your priorities and identifying what's within your control. During work, set reminders to take short, strategic breaks. And at the end of the day, reflect on the actions you took and where you can improve. This constant, intentional approach helps you build a sustainable system where every break and every action has a clear purpose. And remember, Stoic productivity isn't about doing more in less time. It's about doing what matters in alignment with your values and goals. It's not about filling every moment with activity, but ensuring that the actions you take truly move you closer to where you want to be. So, the next time you feel procrastination creeping in, see it as an invitation to reassess. Ask yourself what's within your control, plan a break that recharges you, and take the first step, no matter how small. This is Stoicism in action, a balance between reflection and action that leads to real, lasting progress. And the best part is, you can start right now. Imagine a college student named Alex. He was in his final semester, full of expectations and responsibilities. Between projects, exams, and an internship, Alex felt like he never had enough time. Every day began with an endless to-do list, but he always ended up stuck in cycles of procrastination. He constantly blamed himself, thinking he was lazy or disorganized. The more he tried to avoid breaks, the more exhausted and unproductive he became. One day, Alex came across a quote from Seneca, "Neither idleness nor haste. Balance is the secret to progress." These words intrigued him. For the first time, he realized he might have been approaching his routine all wrong. Instead of trying to eliminate breaks, Alex began to see them as part of his strategy. He decided to try something new, scheduling short, mindful breaks between focused study sessions. Alex applied 3 basic principles: work with clear intentions, take strategic breaks, and take one step at a time. He divided his day into 50-minute study blocks, followed by 10-minute breaks. During these breaks, he did simple things like stretching, breathing deeply, or drinking a glass of water, without guilt or digital distractions. These planned breaks, which once seemed like a waste of time, now recharged his energy and kept his mind focused. Within weeks, Alex noticed something surprising. He was completing more tasks in less time and, most importantly, feeling less anxious and exhausted. By stopping his fight against procrastination and learning to work with it, Alex transformed his routine. Each strategic break became an opportunity to reflect on his progress and adjust his priorities. By the end of the semester, he not only achieved his academic goals, but also learned to manage his time more effectively and with balance. This story of Alex reflects a fundamental Stoic principle: the balance between action and rest. The Stoics believe that excellence doesn't come from haste or relentless effort, but from steady, balanced progress. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be strict with yourself, but never harsh." This means striving for progress with discipline, but also compassion for your own limitations. Another example is the life of Seneca himself, who frequently emphasized the importance of finding harmony between work and rest. He advised avoiding extremes, neither complete idleness nor constant haste. This principle helped Seneca maintain his productivity while balancing his responsibilities as a philosopher, political advisor, and writer. He knew that without mindful breaks, the mind loses clarity and progress becomes unsustainable. Today, many people are applying these same Stoic principles to their routines, achieving impressive results. An entrepreneur, for instance, can use strategic breaks to revisit their vision and ensure their actions align with long-term goals. A healthcare professional can alternate moments of intense work with self-care breaks to avoid burnout and maintain the quality of their work. No matter the field, the balance between action and pause is the key to sustainable productivity. These examples show that procrastination doesn't have to be an obstacle. With a shift in perspective and the application of Stoic principles, it can become an opportunity. As Seneca said, "A well-taken break is not a waste of time but an investment in progress." This is a lesson that has transformed lives for centuries, and it can transform yours too. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine starting your day differently. Instead of waking up with a cluttered mind, you begin with clarity. There's no guilt for taking a break or pressure to do everything at once. You know exactly what your priorities are and understand that every action is intentional. Every break is a strategic choice to maintain your focus. Now, picture yourself working without that constant feeling of racing against the clock. Each completed task brings the satisfaction of real progress because everything you do is aligned with what truly matters. Feel the calm of knowing that you don't need to fill every second with activity to be productive. The breaks you take throughout the day aren't stolen moments or excuses to procrastinate. They're tools that recharge you and prepare you to act more effectively. And at the end of the day, instead of feeling exhausted and frustrated, you look back and see a path of consistent and intentional progress. Now, imagine what it would be like if you could apply this to your life starting today. If you could transform every break into an act of self-control and conscious productivity. There's a simple technique that can help you do exactly that. And the best part? You don't have to wait weeks or months to see the difference. Let me show you how to start right now. Don't let guilt or overwork dictate your productivity. There's a more balanced and effective way to achieve your goals, and Stoicism can be the key to that. Download the free ebook I've linked in the comments and discover how to apply these powerful ideas to your life. It's time to transform your routine into something that truly works, with mindful breaks and intentional actions. And here's a Stoic challenge for you today. Identify a moment in your day where you'd usually procrastinate and reassess it. Turn it into a strategic break, done with purpose and intention. Then return to the task with clarity and focus. Share in the comments how this experience went and what you noticed about your productivity. If this content helped you rethink your approach to breaks and productivity, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next Stoic insights. And if you want to explore more about how common thoughts, like the pursuit of happiness, might be sabotaging balance and clarity in your life, I've made a special video just for you. It might be the next piece you need to align your actions and emotions. Check it out and let me know what you think.